is Aramark wrong? Is this a case of Aramark just being culturally insensitive, or is there something else that we're not seeing here?
Well, it's culturally insensitive to do that, especially on the first day of Black History Month, or African American History Month, as the name has been changed to by ASALH, Association for the Study of African American Life and History. Now, it's we have to determine whether this was an accident or intentional. Now, if we look at the article from the Washington Post, schools vendor served chicken watermelon at start of Black History Month from February 6, 2023, it says that the New York Middle School on February 1st was scheduled to be served cheesesteaks, broccoli, and fruit for lunch. Cheesesteaks, broccoli, and fruit. But somehow it changed, the menu changed to chicken, waffles, and watermelon. Okay. Now, one of the questions I would ask as a vegetarian, okay, where are the vegetables? Number one, you serving this for lunch. Where are the vegetables? Number one. Okay. Number two, who was it who made this change? Okay. Now, Aramark has apologized for this, but who has made this change? Now, it also, we look and see back in February 2018, Aramark made a similar mistake. They served a meal at New York University in honor of Black History Month that included barbecue ribs, cornbread, collard greens, and Kool-Aid, and watermelon flavored water. Okay, so here we have watermelon again. Now, if I want water, I don't want watermelon flavored water. I want water. I want H2O. Okay, so how they get watermelon flavored water? Now, Aramark is based in Philadelphia. I don't know if it was the same employees in 2018 who did that did it February 1st, 2023. I don't know, but it's the same company. Okay, it's two different states, but still. Oh, I'm sorry. It's in the same state. It's in the state of New York. It's in the same state. I don't know if it's the same employees, but still you see this theme of watermelon. So where is this coming from? Now, there's nothing wrong with eating watermelon. Watermelon dates back to ancient Kemet, ancient Egypt, 5,000 years ago. Okay, there's nothing wrong with eating watermelon, but there has been a racist trope which has attached African Americans to watermelon, even though basically all races of people in the United States eat watermelon. Okay. And what happened was, after emancipation, after slavery ends, chattel slavery ends in 1865, after the Civil War and 13th Amendment, ratified December 6, 1865, watermelon was a crop that we grew, that African Americans grew, that was associated with our self-sufficiency. And then as a backlash to that, white Southerners are then going to project it as a racist trope. Okay. So the racist trope has dominated in the media, in culture, things like this, minstrel shows, etc. And a lot of us don't understand this history behind it. And then in 2011, when students at the University of California at Irvine were served chicken and waffles on Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day in 2011.
By Aramark.
By Aramark. Aramark said his managers and chefs would complete cultural sensitivity training. And that was reported by the Los Angeles Times. So I keep seeing chicken and waffles. I keep seeing this pop up. So I don't know if it was intentional, February 1st, 2023, but we do see a pattern here.
All right. So, Brother Michael, you pulled off the receipts. You laid out the pattern. What's your assessment? What's your final judgment? You think this is all intentional?
February 1st, 2023. I don't know if it's intentional, but I'm still trying to find out who made the decision to change the menu. So so hypothetically, it could have been some employees who did it intentionally, and the higher ups at Aramark didn't know it. Okay.
Right. Which is possible. Let's just say this, because like any company, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have different levels of management, and then of course you got the CEO. So the CEO is not going to be in on every single decision,
right?
Especially if the CEO is saying, "Okay, this is one of our clients. What's the menu? The printed menu says cheesesteak. Okay, fine. That's just, you're not thinking about it." And I'm just saying that as from a business perspective, you're not thinking about, oh, okay, let me see what they're serving black people on February the 1st. Now, okay, fine. If they didn't serve that on, since they served that, if a couple of things. If they would have served the cheesesteak and say on the 3rd or the 4th day of the month, they served chicken and waffles, would it have been such an issue?
Well, I still have a problem with chicken and waffles for lunch in the first place, feeding at the children.
But that's because
I still have a problem with feeding children chicken and waffles, and then you put sugary syrup on top of it, and then send them back to class. I have a problem with that.
Hey, look. You see, you're talking to see. Look, you're stating your grievance to the wrong person because I'm a breakfast guy. I will eat breakfast all day. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah. I'm also a vegetarian, so
right, I trust.
So they serve chicken. So let's say this: they serve chicken at school anytime. There's no problem. They serve chicken.
Right.
I guess schools that serve breakfast may have pancakes or waffles,
Absolutely.
but to serve chicken and waffles for lunch
that's
during Black History and watermelon, the whole combination. Okay, because chicken is a stereotype associated with African Americans as well. Now,
and guess what? We're not the only ones that love chicken.
No, we're not the only ones that love chicken, but we're the ones who perfected cooking chicken and seasoning chicken, and that is a byproduct of slavery. And a lot of the food that is associated with Southern comfort food or Southern food, a lot of that is food that African Americans perfected or African Americans enhance the flavor of it in the way that we season the food. And oftentimes we're seasoning the food in ways that reminded us of home, that reminded us of Africa. Okay. Because we were the ones largely cooking the food for the slave masters and the families and things like this. Right. So he goes deep back into that history. So we still haven't, in researching the story, we still haven't seen why the change was made. Why the change in the menu was made. Okay. I still haven't come across that.
Right. So that opens up the conversation. Like we're still trying to figure out who should be held accountable for this. But I'm going back to even that, like you said, this cultural trope that we have been kind of stigmatized with, that Black folks only love chicken and watermelon. Can we break away from that? Can is this something like, is this still offensive right now? Because look, I love watermelon. I absolutely love watermelon. So
has very little nutritional value, but yeah, watermelon is good, especially on a hot day.
Right.
It's like 96, 95%, 94% water. Yes.
Right. But my point is like, should we still be offended by that?
If it's used in a way to dehumanize and demean African Americans, absolutely. But this deals with understanding history, number one, and having control of the media outlets, number two, to be able to fight back. Okay. And to be able to put that information out, to be able to hold people accountable and be able to fight back and educate people on what's taking place, educate people on the history of why watermelon was demeaned when we used it as a tool of self-sufficiency. And this is something coming from Africa as well. Okay. Just like black-eyed peas. Those were cowpeas. Cowpeas come from West Africa. All right. So there's when we get into the history of African Americans eating black-eyed peas on New Year's Day, yes, that dates back to after slavery, when food was scarce, like after the Civil War and things like this. But it was looked at as being fortunate to be able to have a meal. OK, but also cowpeas come from West Africa as well. This article that I just put here in the chat, people could check this out, how the watermelon stereotype came to be weaponized against Black Americans, November 13th, 2022, by businessinsider.com, insider.com. And it goes through some of this history, and it talks about I think it's in here. Yeah. The origins of watermelon can be dated back approximately 6,000 years ago, when it was domesticated through Sudan, Egypt, Ethiopia, Libya, and Kenya. Enjoyed by royalty like the Egyptian Nesubiti or Pharaoh or King Tutankhamun, watermelon soon made it to Rome and Greece, later becoming cultivated in Spain after the Arab conquest. You mean after the Moorish conquest, after the Moors invade Spain in 711 AD, led by General Tariq ibn Ziyad. So we see even a history here where watermelon dates back thousands of years in African history, but then also African Americans after slavery ends use it as a form of self-sufficiency because it was a crop that we sold to give ourselves some type of economic stability. So we have to understand this history, understand how to fight back against these racist tropes.
Look, we got to take a quick pause. We're going to continue the conversation because Online Culture Crew, I need to hear from y'all. Y'all talking about chicken. And look, a lot of black folks love chicken. And guess what? In whether it's LA, Baltimore, guess who's at Popeyes? It ain't just black people. It's Latinos and it's Asians and it's even white people. Let me just tell you, I wanted to have this conversation because do you think, folks, that Aramark has done something wrong? Do you think that because of their pattern of serving chicken and waffles during black celebrations, black time of year, that it's just another racist situation?
Hotep, hey, this is Michael Imhotep, founder of the African History Network and host of the African History Network show. So some of you all saw me on Farajii Muhammad's show, The Culture, today on Monday, February 6, 2023. And we talked about a story out of New York, and it dealt with the middle school where lunch was served by Aramark Corporation on the first day of Black History Month, February 1st, 2023. And the lunch that was served consisted of chicken, watermelon, and waffles. And we started talking about stereotypes of African Americans and how watermelon became a racist trope, a racist stereotype, even though watermelon dates back to about 5,000 years ago in ancient Egypt, ancient Kemet. And I talked about Black History Month and this year's annual theme for Black History Month, which is Black resistance, Black resistance. Well, I want to invite you to free lectures that I'm doing on Saturdays in February, 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, dealing with Black resistance movements. And we're going to look at different Black resistance movements, which is the annual theme for Black History Month this year. And it's been an annual theme going back to 1928. Okay. We're going to look at some of the origins of Black History Month, and we're going to go and look at different aspects of history, whether we talk about the civil rights movement, whether we talk about abolitionists, whether we deal with Marcus Garvey and the Universal Negro Improvement Association. This is the official annual theme for Black History Month, African American History Month, Black resistance. So we'll look at Black resistance movements. We'll look at everything from Malcolm X and look at the Nation of Islam to movements of African Americans like during the Great Migration, and look at our history of fighting against white supremacy and racism, whether we're talking about the Black Power movement and the Black Panther Party for self-defense, etc. Okay, so join us on Saturdays or 12 noon to about 1 p.m. or 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Visit our website, The African History Network, theafricanhistorynetwork.com. You can register for these free lectures that I'm doing. We had a great presentation that I did on Saturday, February 4th, and that ended up being 4 hours. Okay, Saturday, February 4th, that ended up being 4 hours. And these lectures are going to start at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. If you missed the presentation that I did on Saturday, February 4th, you can still register for it right now. It's right on the homepage of our website, theafricanhistorynetwork.com, theafricanhistorynetwork.com. And we dealt with some of the history of Black History Month, African American History Month. We dealt with dispelled a lot of myths about Black History Month as well. It was never designed to be the only time of the year that we study our history. We dealt with some of the history of Dr. Carter G. Woodson as well, and why he created Negro History Week, which started out the second week in February. Okay, so we went through and covered a lot of ground, and originally that presentation was supposed to be 3 hours. I was going to do 2 p.m. to 5 p.m., but we ended up doing 4 hours. So you can still go register for the February 4th free lecture that I did. It's on demand at theafricanhistorynetwork.com, theafricanhistorynetwork.com. And the reparations movement is a fight against white supremacy and racism as well. That's a type of Black resistance movement. And we talk about reparations, we have to talk about Callie House as well, who's fighting for reparations going back to 1898. And then join us Saturday at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time as well for the next lecture. So we'll continue in this series. We're going to do each Saturday in February dealing with Black resistance movements. Okay. Then join me at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, starting Saturday, February 11th, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for class number 1 of my new 12-week online class, Ancient Kemet, the Moors, and the Ma'afa, Understanding the Transatlantic Slave Trade, what they didn't teach you in school. So this is a 12-week online course that I've been teaching on and off since 2017. We deal with thousands of years of history and what leads up to the transatlantic slave trade taking place. We can't start studying our history in slavery. We first have to understand thousands of years of history that leads up to the transatlantic slave trade taking place. And we have to understand the 800-year occupation of Europe by the Africans known as the Moors, and the teachings from the Nile Valley region of Africa that the Moors take into Europe that will bring Europe out of the Dark Ages. So class number 1 starts up Saturday, February 11th, 2023. Ancient Kemet, the Moors, and the Ma'afa, Understanding the Transatlantic Slave Trade. You can register for that right here at our website, theafricanhistorynetwork.com. It's on sale $80, regularly $130. You can watch from around the world. We do sessions live. All the sessions are archived and recorded. And even after the course is over with, you can go back and watch it over and over again. So a year from now, 2 years from now, you can watch the entire class. Okay. Then starting up Sunday, February 26th, we'll have class number 1 from the Civil War to the Civil Rights Movement and Black Power, 1800 to 1968. And this was the class number 1 will start up Sunday. Class number 1 will start up on Sunday, February 26th, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That class is the same structure, and it's on sale $80, regularly $130. Then free sessions that I did previously that you can register for and watch. And if you watch those free sessions, you definitely want to register for the full course. We have a bundle pack where you can register for both classes for only $100. So that's over $200, that's close to a $300 value, because there are going to be 5 bonus lectures that you get when you register for Ancient Kemet, the Moors, and the Ma'afa, Understand the Transatlantic Slave Trade. And one of those bonus lectures will include the lecture I did on November 19th, 2023, which deals with the new Black Panther movie, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. All right, so hopefully you're learning a lot this month. Hopefully you're learning a lot from the African History Network. Join me Saturday, February 11th, 2023, for Black resistance movements, the free lecture. And we have the information right on the homepage of our website, theafricanhistorynetwork.com, theafricanhistorynetwork.com. If you like this type of information, also you can support the African History Network, $ the AHN show through Cash App, $ the AHN show through Cash App, also through PayPal, paypal.me/the AHN show. This helps us keep doing the research, stay on the air, keep broadcasting, etc. If you want to advertise with the African History Network, email us at ahnshow@theafricanhistorynetwork.com, ahnshow@theafricanhistorynetwork.com. We have 3 advertising packages, and we can help you reach thousands of people across the country on a weekly basis. Listen to the African History Network show Sundays, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on 9:10 a.m. Superstation WFDF. And I will also be posting a article that I wrote dealing with the history of African American History Month as well. We'll have that on the homepage of our website, also theafricanhistorynetwork.com. All right, we have to get out of here. Remember, right now is corrects wrong behavior. It's not over till we win. Wakanda forever. And we'll talk to you next time. Peace.